Final block of the show, and we're closing things out with Rotowire senior golf writer and 2020 DFS writer of the year, Len Hochberg. Len, let's chase or fade the following statements for the BMW Championship. So, Jon Rahm fell just shy of winning the Northern Trust, but comes into the second leg of the FedEx Cup playoffs at the BMW Championship as the most expensive golfer at $11,700. Now, he looked dialed in at Liberty National until he faltered on the 15th and 16th on Monday. So chase or fade that he is worth the high salary this week?
Yeah, you're right, Jesse. He did have a little bit of a stumble, very uncharacteristic at the end at the Liberty National. I think it just was Tony Finau's day. Everything went just right for him. But you're right, Jon Rahm is just there every week. This was 11th top 10 in 16 starts in 2021, and one of those 5 misses was when he was going to win the Memorial but had to withdraw. He's a very expensive price, $11,700, but he also is the biggest DraftKings point earner week in and week out. He's second on tour in birdie average. It's the most amazing thing about Jon Rahm is that he only has won one tournament this year. That doesn't guarantee him anything for this week, but I just think you have to play Jon Rahm even at that price. He's just so automatic almost.
All right, well, Jordan Spieth imploded on Monday with a 79 at Liberty National, but he's still high-priced at $10,800. So chase or fade that you should look past the tough final round and look his way this week.
Yeah, what a wild ride. You can get whiplash if you watched Jordan Spieth last week. 62 in one round, 79 in another. That's not easy to do on the same golf course over the span of a few days. I'd love nothing more than Jordan Spieth to have a good week this week. I actually need him in my own personal fantasy league to do well. But I just don't see this being a good fit for Jordan Spieth. It's a driver's golf course by all indications, even though Caves Valley is new to us. Jordan Spieth's big miss continues to be the driver off the tee, accuracy off the tee. His short game is so good, it could keep him somewhere in the mix, somewhere close to the mix. But I just think that there's too many obstacles before you get around the green for Jordan Spieth this week. He's a fade.
Yeah, it was Spieth's worst score since a second round 81 in the 2020 U.S. Open. Okay, another guy, Cam Smith, lost in a playoff to Tony Finau at the Northern Trust, and yet he is under 10K this week at 9,500. So chase or fade that you should be concerned about him being a little tired on a short week.
Yeah, it's not tired. They're all kind of in the same boat in terms of, tired. Almost all of them played on Monday. He is just becoming a fantastic golfer. He is now up to a career best 23rd in the world rankings, and we see him go through pockets of contending for a number of weeks in a row, and he's had a very good stretch, the last few times out in the Olympics and FedEx, WGC FedEx. I just think that this course is not the best for him. His biggest problem is driving in distance and a little bit accuracy. He's so good around the green, just like Jordan Spieth, but the same things that are going to prevent Jordan Spieth from doing well this week, I think will also deter a good finish from Cameron Smith, a fade.
All right, Len, where's the value that you're chasing in this tournament?
Yeah, I think, whenever we see a tournament where they're all the best golfers in the world are there, or almost all the best golfers, invariably some very big names have to move down the DraftKings board. Paul Casey, $8,200, probably not in favor because he had a really bad week last week, really one of his worst weeks in the past year. But he really finds a way, even though he is not a long hitter, he finds a way week in and week out to adapt to the golf course and do what needs to be done. I expect Paul Casey to do very well for his $8,200 price. Same thing, Shane Lowry, $7,900, very quietly having a very good season. 5 top 25s in a row, just missed a top 10 last week at the Northern Trust. Moving down the board, the two Camerons, Cameron Champ at 73, Cam Davis at 69. Both really long hitters, make a lot of birdies. That's a good recipe for this golf course. And all the way down at $6,300, Aaron Wise. He is really an elite player, except for putting. That's a big except, because he's a terrible, terrible putter, but he is basically top 50 in every other strokes gained category. And he putted pretty well last week into a top 25 at the Northern Trust. $6,300, Aaron Wise.
All right, Len, is there someone that you're just absolutely fading this week?
Yeah, I think there are a few guys. I mean, the course doesn't seem to fit some guys because we see it's really for long hitters and good drivers of the golf ball. That is not a good Jordan Spieth golf course. Not really high on him this week. It is a good golf course for Dustin Johnson when Dustin Johnson is playing well. But actually, pretty much any golf course is good for Dustin Johnson when Dustin Johnson is playing well. And obviously, he's not playing very well lately. Missed the cut again last week. I know a lot of people are high on him this week, and I can see that. But he's not for me. I'm going to need to see something before I'm going to really jump on him at still over $10,000. And Cameron Smith, for the same reasons as Jordan Spieth, really not a good fit for him. And I'll throw one more in there, Louis Oosthuizen, in the high nines, really an elite putter this year, leads the tour in putting by a wide margin. But we've seen some slippage, some regression with putting the last few times out for Oosthuizen, and that will hurt him this week.
All right, Len, finally, who's your pick to win the BMW Championship?
Yeah, I hate to go chalk. But Jon Rahm is just there every week. I used to think that if you were picking the top guy on the board, $11,700 in this case, that you really needed a win to justify taking him. But Jon Rahm is such a point earner. He's second on tour in birdie average. I think he will win this week, but even if he doesn't win, I think he could pay off at that price. And I'll throw one more out there. More than $2,000 cheaper this week. What a price on Bryson DeChambeau. In a perfect world, this is a perfect course for Bryson DeChambeau. I don't know if he'll get it done, but it would not surprise me terribly this week for him to play really well.